Hey YouTube fam, it's Daughter of the Most High. I have been watching the YouTube video of Pastor Philip Barnett and his 2007 Azovmena prophecy. Azovmena, if you want to look it up. He was given this vision or dream, he'll clarify that, in, I believe it was 1998, and he didn't follow through with what he was supposed to do with that, which was share it. And then God brought that back to him, that same dream or vision, in 2007, and he has since obeyed what the Lord is calling him to do. Okay, so this is this prophetic word is very significant. Okay, so I shared months ago a portion of this video when I was addressing that adulterous marriages would not be taken in the rapture of the church. This prophetic word is about the rapture of the church, a pre-trib rapture, and who would be left behind. And he mentions Catholics because of their idolatry, Protestants, Orthodox, and then of course those in adulterous remarriages will be left behind. And the 144,000, 12,000 from each of the tribes, 12 tribes of Israel will share with those that are left behind, that are Christians, pardon me, but left behind. That will be part of their task, according to this word, according to this prophetic word, is to share with them what their sin is. We know how people are so blind to their sin, and they think what they're doing is okay, and it's not. And for this group of people, these groups of people, as well as lukewarm Christians, Christians in fornication, will be left behind. And that's part of the job of the 144,000, is to share with them that they need to repent of their sin. And then they will have to go through the trib. Most of them will die in the trib. Because those will, especially the second half of the 7-year period, of course, is going to be horrible on the earth. I mean, the worst time ever on the earth. So I wanted to share that. Now, another part of this prophetic word from the Lord is to warn the people in the U.S. that will be left behind. This is going to happen after the church is gone, pre-trib rapture. There's going to be a nuclear attack from Russia, and they're going to bomb certain cities. And the Lord wanted people to know what are safe cities and what are not. Now, in the video that I was just watching, Pastor Barnett is going to list the cities. And so I wanted you to hear that. So he's going to start speaking about that right here. I'm not sure. I got to check my volume, make sure you can hear. So here it is, the cities in the U.S. that will be attacked. Nuclear attacks.
He gives cities in America. Okay. November.
So I wanted to share with you that his wife is present in this video. Also, Pastor Mike Harris. She is translating through this whole 2-hour video, which again makes things very hard to listen to. His other video that I'll link in the description that talks about these groups of people that will be left behind in the rapture, the translator speaks over him throughout the entire thing. And I'm going to tell you, it's so hard to listen to, but because it's so important to listen to, I've sat through it several times. And now this is his wife translating. So that's part of this equation. I wanted to let you know that. Okay, we're going to go ahead.
11. I know that day.
He just got done saying November 11th.
Whatever. Aren't you born on that day?
I'm born on November 11th.
Uh-huh. And you think it's an accident that God caused you to be born on that day? with
I know.
all the problems.
I no longer do. No.
There are no accidents.
No.
There's just the providence of God. The first American city, okay, God gave me a dream later. I was trying to understand Azovmena and I was praying. Once in 1990, in the fall of 1990, around that time, I was evangelizing, and I drove through Alabama. In this dream, God placed me on a building about 4, 5, 6 stories high. In Mobile, Alabama. And he showed me all of America. From the Rocky Mountains.
Rocky Mountains.
Mm-hmm. In the western part of America. And all the way over to the Atlantic Ocean. I did not see Florida. And all of a sudden, from over Canada, I began to see nuclear weapons coming in over Canada toward America. Above Canada toward America. Russia. Russian nuclear weapons. The first city that was destroyed, hit by a nuclear weapon, Russian nuclear weapon, was Chicago. Then Detroit. A nuclear bomb blew up way up in the atmosphere above Milwaukee, Wisconsin. Wisconsin. Mm-hmm. Cleveland, Ohio. Then more missiles kept coming. St. Louis was hit. Nashville, Tennessee was hit. Memphis, Tennessee. I saw rockets going towards the west. One was headed towards Colorado. And I didn't see where it hit. Later on, I was evangelized. I was traveling in the West preaching. On a trip to America. And I thought, after I had seen that dream, probably that nuclear bomb hit Colorado Springs. I couldn't tell if it was going to hit Denver or Colorado Springs. So God caused that we couldn't find a hotel one night in Denver. I've been preaching in Wyoming and South Dakota. And so we were coming back to Oklahoma. And we had to go all the way to Colorado Springs that night. And God showed me the next day. The nuclear bomb will not hit Colorado Springs. It will hit Denver. Another one was going to the west, further south. And it's like, Lord, where's that? I didn't see where it hit. Did it hit Albuquerque, New Mexico? Or was it headed a little bit different to Phoenix, Arizona? Later on, God showed me. It wasn't Phoenix. It was Albuquerque. So you can write that name down. Another one passed between Kansas City.
Еще одна пролетела.
It was near St. Louis, but went south.
Еще одна ракета, она летела на юг, она была близко к Сент-Луис.
It was near St. Louis, but it was going south.
Летела дальше.
And I understood it was headed towards New Orleans.
И я понял, что она летела к Нью-Орлеанс.
And another one was headed further west. It was going south.
Больше на запад и южнее.
And I couldn't understand the city it was seemingly headed for.
И я точно не смог понять, какой город она летела.
I still don't understand this one.
Сейчас вот это, тот город не понимаю, какой она летела.
Little Rock, Arkansas.
You understand? You did.
I didn't understand. I still don't understand why Little Rock, Arkansas.
Почему Little Rock, Arkansas?
Well, all of a sudden,
И вдруг
several of the atomic missiles had already come into American airspace.
Несколько вот ядерных ракет, которые уже зашли в воздушное пространство.
All of a sudden, north of Lake Michigan.
Вдруг
No, Savor is
север озера, на север от озера Мичиган
nuclear bombs began to explode.
начали взрываться ядерные бомбы.
And I understood what was happening.
И я понял, что начало происходить.
The American space program.
Американская воздушная программа, космическая программа.
They had started shooting down the nuclear rockets.
Сбивать эти ядерные ракеты.
Some of them had gotten through before.
Некоторые успели пройти до.
But one of them blew up north of Lake Michigan.
Но одна из них взорвалась на север от озера Мичиган.
And then another one, and of course, it created a giant concussion up in the atmosphere.
Сотворила огромный этот mushroom.
No. Well, a mushroom way up in the atmosphere.
То есть пошла так, аж в атмосферу зашла.
And another nuclear bomb came in and it blew up in that concussion. In a nuclear bomb, a huge wave goes out.
Огромная волна выходит в ядерной бомбе.
And nuclear missile after nuclear missile were coming in.
Заходили одна за другой ядерные ракеты.
And they were all blowing up over central Canada.
Взрывались над центральной частью Канады.
Literally, central Canada, above north of Lake Michigan, melted.
То есть практически центральная Канада,
Центральная Канада, север из озера Мичиган, таял,
озера Мичиган, просто они растаяли.
So that's what God gave me, and I understand from other things God showed me in the past.
Я понимаю из того, что Бог раньше показал.
Los Angeles and San Francisco will be hit.
Лос-Анджелес и Сан-Франциско будут удары нанесены.
But
Но
before that,
до этого
the West Coast is going to be hit by a massive tsunami.
Западное побережье, оно будет удар пойдет от огромного цунами.
Several years ago,
несколько лет, более чем несколько лет назад,
in Ukraine,
на Украине,
God showed me the West Coast.
Господь показал мне западное побережье.
The tsunami may be 200 feet high, west coast of America.
Господь показал мне западное побережье Америки.
A tsunami may be 200 feet high hit the west coast.
Цунами, которая была 200
well, 70 метров. 70 метров. Нет, меньше. 65 метров.
Где-то 65 метров высотой цунами.
So I couldn't see in this one dream.
И в одном этом сне я не мог видеть
west of the Rocky Mountains.
Запад этих гор Rocky Mountains.
After that,
после этого
God gave me another dream.
Бог дал мне еще один сон.
And I saw 2 flights of Russian bombers coming into the northeast part of the United States. 2 flights, different one. One flight, God showed me one flight of 4 Russian bombers.
4 русских самолетов
with nuclear bombs,
ядерными бомбами,
coming into America.
которые летели в Америку.
And then he showed me 2 more.
И потом еще 2 показал.
In a different location, coming in.
С другого места расположения.
All of them over the northeast.
И все над северо-востоком.
And What I understand,
И то, что я понял,
New York
то, что я
City
понимаю,
will be hit by 3 nuclear bombs.
что Нью-Йорк-Сити будет ударен 3 ядерными ракетами.
2 will hit Washington, D.C.
2 ударит по Вашингтон, Д.С.
Baltimore will be hit by 1.
Балтимор 1 ударит.
Boston will be hit by 1.
Бостон ударит 1.
Now, there were 6, and the Russian planes were not big, massive bombers.
И эти самолеты не были огромными русскими такими бомбардировками.
They were medium-sized
Они были среднего размера,
bombers that were launched from aircraft carriers.
которые, наверное, запускались, самолеты слетали с авианосцев.
And they penetrated American defenses.
И проходили американскую оборону.
So I saw 7 nuclear bombs will hit the Northeast.
Поэтому я увидел 7 ядерных бомб ударит северо-восток.
But there were only 6 planes.
Но только 6 самолетов было.
So that means
Это обозначает,
1 ICBM will hit either Washington or New York. ICBM, excuse me. The big missiles that came across the North, that will come across the North Pole.
Ударит,
That will hit
одна из
1
этих больших ракет ударит
either Washington,
либо
D.C. or New York.
Вашингтон, Д.С., либо Нью-Йорк.
Now, what cities won't be hit?
Какие города не будут ударены ракетами?
You need to talk louder so they can hear. Okay, if you put a map of the temple in Jerusalem,
Если положить карту храма в Израиле,
the temple that was destroyed,
храма, который был разрушен,
in one area of the temple
в одной части храма
was the bread, the table with the
был
shewbread.
престол с хлебом.
If you put that map of the temple over the top of the United States,
Если вы эту карту положите сверху карты Соединенных Штатов Америки,
where the bread was at in the temple,
там, где хлеб этот
shewbread, I don't remember in Russian, я не помню на Russian. Just the clef that the priest,
там, где священники приносили хлеб,
it would fit over
оно будет прямо
the Midwest.
накладываться на средний средне-западный район Америки.
Ohio, Indiana, that area.
Индиана, этот район.
God showed me.
Бог мне показал.
Cincinnati, Ohio,
Cincinnati, Ohio.
will be the city of refuge
Это будет город-убежище
for the Northeast.
для северо-востока.
Alabama
Алабама
has defended the right to life for decades.
защищала право
To stop abortion.
Защищала права за жизнь, то есть остановить аборты.
More than any other state.
Больше, чем другие штаты.
God saw.
И Бог увидел.
He saw the Supreme Court justice from Alabama.
Бог увидел судью, верховного судью из Алабамы.
That put the 10 Commandments
Которая,
there.
Судью, который поставил 10 заповедей прямо там.
God will defend Alabama.
Бог будет защищать.
Isn't that awesome? Isn't that awesome? Because they fought abortion and they post the 10 Commandments. So God's going to cover them in this attack. That's so amazing.
Защищать Алабаму.
Alabama will not be hit by a nuclear weapon.
Поэтому на Алабаму не пойдет ядерная бомба.
It is the state of refuge for the southeast.
Это место убежища
Southeastern.
Для юго-восточной части.
God told me.
Бог мне сказал.
He put Lookout Mountain at Chattanooga.
Посмотри на гору в Чаттануге.
To absorb the percussion.
Чтобы она в себя, эта гора, она в себя возьмет все вот эти волны, которые пойдут от взрыва, она на себя их возьмет.
Remember, nuclear bombs will hit Nashville and
Помните,
Memphis.
что ядерные бомбы падут на Мемфис и на Нэшвилл.
But God put Lookout Mountain and other mountains north of Chattanooga.
Но та гора, горы в Чаттануге и другие горы,
That
они на себя принимают удар.
as the wave comes in from those nuclear bombs,
Волны будут распространяться от этих ядерных ракет.
Lookout Mountain will stop much of that. Lookout Mountain, that mountain, Lookout Mountain.
Гора, которая называется Lookout Mountain, она на себя этот удар будет принимать от волн.
And so Chattanooga,
Поэтому Чаттануга,
Cleveland, Tennessee,
Теннесси,
they won't be touched by nuclear weapons.
к ним не прикоснется ядерное орудие.
Texas will not be touched by a nuclear weapon.
Техас тоже не прикоснется ядерное орудие.
Oklahoma will not be touched by a
Оклахоме
nuclear
не
weapon.
прикоснется ядерное оружие.
God showed me there would be
Бог показал мне,
a passage
будет проход
through Kansas
через Канзас.
that the atomic bomb that hits St.
Что
Louis
ядерная бомба, которая ударит по Сент-Луис,
will destroy all the way over into
разрушит
Kansas.
аж к Канзасу.
The atomic bomb that hits Denver,
Ядерная бомба, которая упадет на Денвер,
it will extend all the way over into Kansas,
она продлится
all the way over the border
аж
of
к
Kansas.
границе Канзаса.
But there will be a passage in central Kansas
Но будет проход в центральном Канзасе,
that the people from the northern plains can come
чтобы
to the
люди
southern
с северных
plains.
равнин могли перейти на южные равнины.
Wow. Wow.
Wow.
Wow.
I have much information
У меня есть больше и больше информации,
exactly what's going to happen.
что точно будет происходить.
We won't go into Azovmena 2,
Мы
Right.
не будем входить на 20,
but
но
God is going to bless the state of Texas.
Бог благословит штат Техас.
There's a reason that border, the
Есть
wall
причина.
has been built.
Есть причина, по которой там построилась стена.
It will become important.
Это станет очень важным.
At the midpoint of the
В
tribulation,
середине периода скорби
the Chinese are going to attack the Texas remnant.
китайцы, они будут атаковать остаток
Texas
Техаса
and Oklahoma.
и Оклахомы.
They will come in from Canada.
Они придут с Канады.
They will try to take the airport in
Они
Grand
будут
Rapids,
пытаться захватить
Grand Rapids, South
аэропорт.
Dakota. Grand Rapids, South Dakota.
Grand
The Chinese will come in.
Rapids аэропорт. Они
Oh,
будут пытаться...
no, excuse me. Rapid City, South Dakota. I'm mixing
Извините,
it.
Rapid в Южной Дакоте, Rapid City аэропорт они будут пытаться захватить.
I can give much information later.
И я могу
Yeah.
больше информации позже сказать.
During the tribulation, during the 1,000-year millennial
Во
reign,
время тысячелетнего периода правления
the name of America will be changed.
имя Америки будет изменено.
It will be called.
Оно будет названо.
It will no longer be called the United
Оно не
States of
будет
America.
названо Соединенные Штаты Америки уже.
The new name will be
Новое имя будет
the
название
United Christian States of America.
Соединенные Христианские Штаты Америки.
My goodness. Wow.
I don't know what
Я не знаю, что еще сказать.
God told me
Бог сказал мне
in 2007.
в 2007 году.
He was telling me things nobody else knows. Nobody.
Он мне говорил такие вещи, которых другие не знают.
He brought me back to America.
Он привел меня обратно в Америку.
America has to know
Америка должна знать,
where the cities
где города
and the states
и штаты
of refuge will be.
прибежища будут.
That they don't die in the nuclear war
Чтобы
that's
они не
coming.
умерли в ядерной войне, которая грядет.
I'm not saying this to scare
Я не
anybody,
говорю это, чтобы кого-либо напугать,
but that people will
но
know.
чтобы люди знали.
Mike, we did not discuss
Mike,
before
we-
this
До этого не обсуждали,
broadcast
до этой программы ничего не обсуждали.
anything about Amos.
Что-нибудь
Да.
про книгу Ам.
But God caused you
Но
to speak
Бог
that verse.
позволил именно тебе сказать этот стих.
He cannot destroy.
Он не может что-то разрушить.
Let me say it this way.
Давай я так скажу.
He doesn't destroy.
Он не разрушает.
He removes his hands of protection.
Он убирает руки защиты своей.
From the beginning of
В
nations,
самом начале народов
God has always used one nation to judge another.
Бог всегда использовал один народ, чтобы судить другой народ.
Why is much of America going to be destroyed?
Почему большая часть Америки будет разрушена?
We've broken the covenant.
Мы нарушили завет.
We've killed tens of millions of babies.
Мы десятки миллионов младенцев
Well, that's
убили.
exactly right.
Girls into boys.
Превратили мальчиков, девочек в мальчиков.
Our country has to be judged.
Наша страна должна быть судима.
If you do not believe that America is going to be judged,
Если вы не верите, что Америка будет судима,
I challenge everybody on this
я
program.
бросаю вызов каждому из вас.
One day in
Однажды
Ukraine,
в Украине
God had revealed the dreams to me.
Бог
God revealed the dreams to me.
Бог мне открыл, показал сны.
And one day he said,
И в один день он сказал,
you go to the computer
пойди к компьютеру
and you study George Washington.
и изучи все про Джорджа Вашингтона.
Okay.
Я сказала,
So I went to the computer.
я пошел к
I
компьютеру,
turned it on.
я включил его.
And you know what came on first?
И что самое первое я увидел?
George Washington at Valley Forge. George Washington at Dalina, at Valley Forge, Dalina
Долина
Forge.
Фордж.
And
Джордж Вашингтон в
angels
долине Фордж.
visited George Washington.
И ангелы явились ему именно в той долине.
And they called him Son of the Republic.
И они назвали его Сын Республики.
Go on to internet.
Вот откройте интернет,
Put in George Washington,
напечатайте Джордж Вашингтон
Son of the Republic,
на английском, Son of the Republic.
in the archives of Congress, the Library of Congress archives.
В библиотеке
Everything is written there.
все там написано.
Washington told John Adams
Вашингтон сказал Джону Адамсу
and many, many others.
и многим-многим другим,
The angels came
что приходили ангелы
and they showed me
и показали мне
America
Америку
from the Atlantic
с
Ocean
Атлантического
to
океана
the Pacific
до
Ocean.
Тихого океана.
Most of it was burned black with fire.
Большая часть была сожжена, просто выглядела все черно.
And the American
Черным
remnant,
огнем. И американские оставшиеся,
they were
остатки
fighting.
они боролись.
They were about to be overcome.
И их уже почти покорили.
The Battle of Armageddon,
Битва Армагеддон.
at the end of the 7 years,
В конце 7 лет.
the Antichrist is not just going to try to destroy Israel, the Israeli remnant.
Антихрист не будет пытаться просто разрушить Израиль.
He will try to destroy the remnant in western Ukraine.
Он будет пытаться разрушить и тех, которые остались в Западной Украине.
And at that time,
И в то время
the Russian remnant
русские оставшиеся
and the Ukrainian remnant
и украинские
will
оставшиеся
fight together against the Antichrist.
будут бороться вместе против Антихриста.
The Antichrist will never conquer
Антихрист никогда не покорит
western Ukraine.
Западную Украину.
He will never conquer all of America.
Он никогда не сможет покорить всю Америку.
George Washington said,
Джордж Вашингтон сказал,
the battle was fierce, was very big,
битва была огромная,
and the American remnant,
и остатки американцев,
they were about to be, maybe they would be overcome, maybe not.
может быть, их бы уже победили, может быть, нет.
He said, and all of a sudden,
Вдруг он
I
сказал,
looked up in the sky.
я посмотрел в небо,
This is the son of the republic,
это сын республики,
George Washington.
Джордж Вашингтон.
He said, and I saw a light
И он сказал, я увидел свет,
brighter than 100 suns.
ярче, чем 100 сотни солнца.
And he came down
И он
and he saved the American remnant. Woo! Jesus came down
Иисус сошел
and he saved the American remnant.
и спас американский остаток,
He will save the Jewish
и
remnant.
еврейский остаток,
He will save
и
the
он спасет
Ukrainian remnant.
украинский остаток,
He will save the remnant in Switzerland.
и швейцарский остаток.
All born again Christians
Все рожденные свыше
will
христиане,
gather to Switzerland
они соберутся в
to
Швейцарии,
fight against to escape from the Antichrist.
чтобы убежать от Антихриста.
And when Jesus returns,
И когда Иисус вернется,
the remnant from Western Europe
остатки из Западной Европы
will still be fighting in Switzerland.
будут продолжать бороться в Швейцарии.
God has always had a people.
Yes, he has.
During the tribulation period, he will have a people
Во время периода скорби у него будут люди,
who will not take the mark.
которые не примут начертания зверя.
Wow. And here's the deal, guys. I'm going to bring it up on the screen.
Я на экран это покажу.
The scripture is Romans 10,
Римлянам 10 глава.
Read it to us, Brother Mike. Okay, Masha will find it in the Russian Bible.
Find verse 8.
Римлянам 10, 8 стих.
And when you're ready, Masha, just let me know.
Okay.
I'm ready.
She's ready.
Verse 8 says, "But what saith it?"
Но что говорит Писание?
The word is nigh thee.
Please.
Okay, I'm going to stop there. He's reading Romans 10, 8 through 10, I believe. I don't have the full chapter on the page, but what saith it? The word is nigh thee, even in thy mouth and in thy heart. That is the word of faith, which we preach, that if thou shalt confess with thy mouth the Lord Jesus, and shalt believe in your heart that God has raised him from the dead, you shall be saved. For with the heart man believes unto righteousness, and with the mouth confession is made unto salvation. So, I believe he said that was Romans 10, but that is so interesting and such important prophetic information. Now, I have listened to so much, I don't recall if in this half-hour video that Pastor Barnett said that he believes, based on his calculations, that he says probably, because no one knows for sure, but likely or probably the rapture of the church will occur in 2026. And then after the rapture of the church, not immediately, but a short time after that, the United States will get attacked. And God gave him the cities that will be attacked and the cities of refuge. So this is quite a word, quite the prophetic word, and I wanted to share it on my channel and share it with you so that you could be made aware of this. So that's all for today, fam, and I will chat with you soon. Be blessed.